You tell Xi I want him to hear this directly. No translators, no talking points. You tell him exactly what I said. I'm looking at this map. The Strait of Hormuz. 20% of the world's oil flows through that little piece of water. 20%. And right now, it's locked up tighter than a drum because Iran is playing games. Now, I see China. China is buying 90% of Iran's oil. Maybe even more with these ghost fleets they've got floating around. You're getting it at cut-rate prices, keeping the regime in Tehran nice and comfortable while I'm trying to get them to the table. I launched strikes. I obliterated their military sites on Karg Island. I could have hit the oil I held back, for now. I showed decency, they said. But Iran is still out there with drones and mines, scaring off every tanker. They've got the whole place locked down. And who is that hurting? It hurts the world. But frankly, it hurts China. You have no domestic oil. None. Your whole economic miracle is built on ships going through that strait. Without that oil, your economy starts to cough. And coughs can turn into something much worse. So here's the problem. I'm trying to defeat Iran. Not just contain them, defeat them. End the regime. Make them incapable of threatening anyone ever again. But every dollar Beijing sends to Tehran for that oil, it's like giving them a life jacket while I'm trying to push them under the water. I asked for help. I asked 7 countries to send warships. I asked France. I asked the UK. I asked Japan and South Korea. I'm asking China. Send your navy. Go protect the ships. Make sure the strait is open. But you know what happens. I get silence. I get we're monitoring the situation. Your foreign ministry gives some speech about calling for an end to the fighting. It's weak. It's very weak. Tell Xi this isn't a request. This is a reality check. You can't have it both ways. You can't pretend to be a responsible global power, you know? The community with a shared future and all of that beautiful sounding stuff, and then freeload off the United States Navy while funding our enemy. If you want the oil to flow, help us open the strait. If you want Iran to be defeated, stop propping them up. It's very simple. Because let me tell you something else. If this war drags on, and those prices at the pump keep going up, the American people are going to ask a very simple question. Why are we doing this alone while China gets rich? And you know what my answer might be? Maybe I decide the strait isn't my problem anymore. Maybe I pull our ships back. And then you're sitting there with a bunch of tankers full of oil that can't go anywhere. How does that work for your 4.5% growth target? Not so good, I don't think. So you go back, you tell President Xi that I'm looking forward to our summit. But the summit is going to be a lot more pleasant if I see some Chinese warships heading toward the Gulf of Oman before IG. And on the plane, you tell him that, word for word.